Have you ever wondered if the planet's most powerful medicines didn't originate in cutting-edge laboratories, but were instead poured into clay cups thousands of years ago by history's healthiest civilizations? The reality is that while we spend fortunes on supplements and pharmaceuticals, there is a little-known truth: the Bible prescribed drinks that modern science is only now beginning to acknowledge with amazement for their ability to quench inflammation, fortify the immune system, and restore the body at a cellular level. These drinks are not merely spiritual symbols, but ancient medicine validated by empirical science. Consequently, this journey to discover 20 divine elixirs from the Bible will completely shift your perspective on healing, especially the secret at position number 13, a drink once burned in temples every morning that modern rheumatology trials are now regarding with profound respect. Opening this list is honey water. Dubbed the breath of heaven and the simplest yet most potent combination the ancient world ever created. In a biblical context, raw honey stirred into clean water was a precious remedy long before humans knew how to define medicine. Associated with the image of Canaan, the land flowing with milk and honey, or the story of Jonathan's eyes brightening after consuming this essence. It delivers such miraculous effects because raw honey, when dissolved in water, activates enzymes that produce hydrogen peroxide and the protein defensin 1, transforming this mixture into a biological warrior capable of destroying pathogens and inhibiting H. pylori bacteria, the culprit behind stomach ulcers. Beyond disinfection, honey water acts as an original electrolyte drink rich in potassium and magnesium, hydrating and resuscitating the body in ways plain water cannot. However, to maximize its power, one must master the traditional art of preparation by mixing 1 to 2 tablespoons of honey into warm water, strictly avoiding boiling water to prevent destroying the precious enzymes. Consuming it during the golden window on an empty stomach helps heal the intestinal tract, or drinking it before physical activity maintains steady energy. Despite such incredible efficacy, the reason honey water has been gradually forgotten in modern medicine is quite simple. It cannot be patented and does not yield massive profits for pharmaceutical corporations. Yet, for those struggling with inflammatory bowel disease or chronic fatigue, this remains the most primordial healing solution, a true treasure hiding right in every family's kitchen cupboard. Second is authentic pomegranate juice. Do not confuse it with those prepackaged bottles full of preservatives in the supermarket. We are talking about the drink that once built temples, adorned the robes of priests, and quietly protected the cardiovascular system of an entire civilization. More than just a legend, modern science has begun to bow to the wisdom of our ancestors. Clinical studies have shown that pomegranate juice possesses an incredible ability to reduce blood pressure, improve arterial elasticity, and prevent the oxidation of LDL. Furthermore, a breakthrough study demonstrated that daily pomegranate juice consumption could significantly reduce carotid artery wall thickness within just 12 months, with a polyphenol content far exceeding that of red wine, green tea, and blueberries combined. This is the ultimate anti-inflammatory weapon. The ancients did not filter out the essence. They pressed the seeds, drank it fresh, and used the dried peels to treat digestive infections, a complete medical system encapsulated in a single fruit. Not stopping at pomegranate orchards, the healing journey continues to lead us back to the land flowing with milk and honey. However, a truth must be clarified. The milk of the ancient promise was not the bland, pasteurized, homogenized cow's milk on modern shelves. Instead, it was fresh goat's milk, a superfood with a completely different biological structure that is perfectly compatible with the human digestive system. Goat's milk is considered a forgotten miracle due to its superior biochemical advantages. Unlike the A1 protein in industrial cow's milk, which often triggers inflammation, goat's milk possesses A2 protein, which helps the body tolerate it better and soothes the intestinal mucosa. Additionally, with smaller fat globules and high levels of caprylic acid, goat's milk carries incredibly powerful natural antibacterial and antifungal properties. Most notably, in ancient times, milk was never a static product. It was consumed fresh or fermented into lebanon, a drink containing true probiotic armies that help seed the gut microbiome. thereby enhancing immunity and even human mood. If pomegranate juice is likened to the bloodline of cardiovascular protection and goats, milk is the promised land for the digestive system. Then barley water and date juice are the two sources of enduring vitality that sustained humanity through history's most grueling journeys. It is no coincidence that these beverages appeared so early in ancient civilizations. They endured and were passed down through practical efficacy, not flashy marketing campaigns.
Firstly, barley water has long been regarded as a humble yet powerful tonic. Since ancient times, when medicine was still primitive, humans knew how to utilize this drink to support holistic health. Today, modern science has partially validated these practices by pointing out that barley contains high levels of beta-glucan, a form of soluble fiber capable of lowering bad cholesterol and protecting vascular walls. Beyond that, barley water helps stabilize postprandial blood sugar, thereby contributing to the reduction of insulin resistance risk. Simultaneously, its natural anti-inflammatory properties and ability to nourish the gut microbiome make it an ideal choice for those focused on digestion and immunity. Consequently, a drink prepared simply by simmering 3 cups of filtered water for approximately 30 minutes until the grains soften and the liquid thickens slightly, then straining the pail. Cloudy water can provide long-term health value when consumed regularly, whether served warm or chilled throughout the day. Furthermore, date juice tells a different story, one that is more potent, energy-rich, and tied to the image of survival in harsh environments. In the Bible, the date palm is not merely a tree. It is a symbol of victory, abundance, and intense vitality. From the city of Jericho to the path Jesus took entering Jerusalem, the date palm has always stood as a testament to life in the desert. When pressed or processed into juice, this fruit provides an abundant energy source due to its natural sugars paired with minerals such as potassium, magnesium, copper, and B vitamins. Thanks to this combination, the body can absorb energy steadily without experiencing sudden blood sugar crashes. Additionally, date juice supports blood enrichment, enhances stamina, and contributes to bone strength. While the natural tannins in the fruit help protect the intestinal tract from bacteria. Therefore, whether by directly pressing ripe fresh fruit for a concentrated nectar to be consumed immediately, or collecting natural date palm sap at dawn in clay jars to preserve full freshness and live enzymes, or even the modern method of soaking dried dates in warm water overnight before blending and straining. Every approach aims to retain the complete nutritional value and ensure consumption, while fresh for optimal effectiveness. However, it is noteworthy that despite possessing such clear benefits, these beverages have gradually been forgotten in modern life. The cause lies not in their lack of efficacy, but rather the opposite. Their living nature and short shelf life make them incompatible with industrial production models and bottled supply chains. While the market prioritizes products that can be stored for months or even years, barley water or date juice demands artisanal preparation and immediate consumption. Consequently, they have been pushed out of mainstream consumer habits, even though their nutritional value remains unchanged. Human history is not only written through wars or dynasties, but is also preserved through beverages deeply imbued with symbolism and healing power. Within this flow, one must first mention hyssop tea, a herbal remedy long regarded as the symbol of absolute purification. Hyssop appeared not only in the rituals of Leviticus, but also penetrated the hearts of believers through King David's prayer, "Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean," even at the most tragic moment on the cross. A branch of hyssop was used to offer vinegar to Jesus. For centuries, posterity often viewed this as a purely spiritual ritual. However, modern science has proven that this faith was built upon a remarkably precise pharmacological foundation.
Analysis reveals that Hyssopus officinalis contains carvacrol and thymol, powerful antibacterial compounds similar to those found in thyme. Clinical studies confirm that hyssop possesses the ability to inhibit viruses, fight fungi, and effectively act as an expectorant. This implies that when ancient priests performed these rituals, they were simultaneously applying a genuine antiseptic to protect the community. 2. Inherit this wisdom. One simply needs to steep fresh or dried hyssop in hot water for about 10 minutes and consume it once or twice daily. At the first sign of a cold, continuing the flow of primordial values, if hyssop represents purification, then fresh grape juice is the image of overflowing life. With the declaration, "I am the vine, you are the branches," the grape became a central symbol. From Noah's vineyard after the flood to the sacred Passover table, entirely distinct from today's bottled juices filled with preservatives. Pure fresh-pressed grape juice is a treasure trove of polyphenols, the most potent antioxidant compounds humans can consume. The power of grape juice lies in its raw state, where resveratrol, quercetin, and anthocyanins synergize to repair cells, combat inflammation, and protect the cardiovascular system. Clinical trials have linked the consumption of fresh grape juice to lower blood pressure and enhanced memory in the elderly. However, the true secret lies in pressing the whole fruit, including the skin and seeds, as that is where the nutrients are most concentrated. The philosophy here is simple: drink the lifeblood directly from the vine immediately after pressing, without heat treatment or filtration, to fully experience life in its purest form. Alongside the vital essence of the grape, the Bible leads us to almond milk, the nutritional beverage of the patriarchs. The favor shown toward the almond is clearly evident when God instructed Moses to design the tabernacle lampstand in the shape of blossoms, or when Aaron would rod but it. The almond is not only a symbol of watchfulness, but the milk pressed from these nuts also served as a perfect nutritional alternative to animal milk during that era. Nevertheless, a clear distinction must be made between traditional almond milk and modern, industrial versions. Authentic almond milk must be crafted from seeds soaked overnight and blended with pure water to fully preserve its natural fats. Vitamin E meeting 37% of daily requirements, and magnesium, which supports hundreds of enzymatic reactions. Due to its unique cellular structure, almond milk helps stabilize blood sugar and miraculously nourishes the gut microbiome. It is no coincidence that images of almonds are carved into the architecture of the most sacred places, serving as an affirmation of a resilient and refined energy source bestowed by nature. Alongside beverages derived from fruits and nuts, we also find healing power in the most humble spices, exemplified by cumin tea, the only spice explicitly mentioned by Jesus in the book of Matthew, when he spoke of the Pharisees tithing even the smallest cumin seeds. The fact that a spice was used as an offering demonstrates that its true value lies not only in its flavor, but in the precious medicinal properties. Trusted for 4,000 years throughout the Middle East, modern science has proven that cumin contains cuminaldehyde, which possesses potent antibacterial and antifungal properties, while stimulating the production of bile and digestive enzymes to dissolve bloating and indigestion. Notably, research on type 2 diabetic patients shows that regular cumin consumption significantly improves insulin sensitivity and lowers blood sugar. Even with just 3 grams of cumin, you receive 20% of your daily iron needs, making this tea an effective remedy for those with anemia. To preparate, ancients would lightly toast a teaspoon of cumin seeds before steeping them in boiling water for 10 minutes, creating a digestive aid far superior to modern industrial antacids. Accompanying cumin in the offerings at the temple was mint, a herb also listed in the book of Matthew as a testament to its value in family medicine rather than as a mere seasoning. With a therapeutic history spanning over 5,000 years in the Near East, mint possesses its primary weapon in menthol, one of the most thoroughly researched natural compounds in the field of digestion. Clinical trials have confirmed that peppermint tea significantly reduces symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome, from abdominal pain and bloating to cramping, due to its ability to relax the smooth muscles of the intestinal wall. Furthermore, peppermint tea offers selective antibacterial effects, helping to eliminate harmful bacteria without damaging beneficial flora, while serving as an effective anti-nausea remedy for everything from motion sickness to pregnancy. With just a handful of fresh leaves, or a spoonful of dried leaves steeped in hot water, you have an immediate remedy to reduce fever, alleviate pain, and soothe the body. These beverages stand as vivid evidence that healing power has been hidden within our reach for thousands of years, merely waiting to be rediscovered to bring balance to modern health. Continuing our journey to discover remedies from the Holy Land, we cannot overlook olive leaf tea, an immune-boosting elixir that has long been overshadowed by the immense popularity of olive oil. While the Bible consistently honors the olive tree as a symbol of peace and divine provision, few realize that before olive oil became a nutritional superstar, its leaves were used for healing for thousands of years. The key lies in oleuropein, one of the plant kingdom's most potent antioxidant and antimicrobial compounds, which is capable of lowering blood pressure as effectively as pharmaceutical drugs and inhibiting influenza viruses with incredible efficacy. In traditional Mediterranean medicine, olive leaf tea steeped from dried leaves for 15 to 20 minutes was the standard remedy for fevers and colds. A testament that the life force of the tree that lit the temple lamps resides not just in its fruit, but is hidden within every leaf. Alongside this, coriander seed tea emerges as a detoxifying and soul-soothing beverage dating back to the desert era. When God provided manna to the Israelites, the Bible described it as appearing like coriander seeds. Whether a precise botanical identification or a comparison, coriander appeared in history's most miraculous food story and carries medicinal values that are far from coincidental. Modern research shows that linalool in coriander seeds has anxiety-reducing effects comparable to certain sedatives, while also helping to reduce intestinal spasms and protect the digestive system from pathogens. Simply crush a teaspoon of seeds and steep in hot water for 10 minutes to enjoy a tea with a fragrant citrus aroma, bringing peace in the midst of history's most miraculous meals. The most unique and mysterious is perhaps frankincense water, the world's oldest healing drink and one of the precious gifts presented by the Magi to the Christ child. For millennia, priests and physicians did not just burn frankincense to create a pleasing aroma for God. They also dissolved the resin of the Boswellia sacrari in water to create a powerful anti-inflammatory medicine. Today, science is fascinated by boswellic acid AKBA in frankincense, a compound clinically proven to reduce arthritis pain and support the treatment of asthma and inflammatory bowel disease as effectively as modern drugs, but with fewer side effects. By soaking a piece of pure frankincense in water overnight, the ancients created a resinous milky water to be consumed on an empty stomach, an exquisite therapy that Western medicine once overlooked because it could not be synthesized or patented. Finally, we have fig leaf tea, a savior for blood sugar levels. The image of the fig tree permeates the Bible as a symbol of prosperity. And when King Hezekiah fell gravely ill, the prophet Isaiah used figs as a remedy. However, traditional Middle Eastern medicine prizes the fig leaf even more than its fruit. Numerous clinical trials have confirmed that fig leaf tea significantly reduces post-meal blood sugar levels and even helps diabetic patients reduce their required insulin dosage, thanks to compounds like quercetin and chlorogenic acid. This naturally sweet tea slows sugar absorption and improves insulin sensitivity at the cellular level. Steeping dried fig leaves for 10 to 15 minutes is not only an inheritance of ancient tradition but also a wise application of a natural remedy to balance the body amidst the rhythm of modern life. 15. Flaxseed, one of the world's oldest crops. As we delve deeper into ancient wisdom, we encounter flaxseed, one of the world's oldest cultivated crops. The ancient Israelites grew flax primarily to weave pure, white garments for their priests. However, beyond the outward elegance of linen fabrics, the seeds themselves served as a miraculous remedy for inflammation and a natural laxative. When soaked overnight, flax seeds produce a unique mucilage or gel-like substance, which acts as nature's most effective medicine for soothing intestinal inflammation and constipation. At rich in allic acids lignans, flaxseed water helps lower LDL cholesterol and reduces the C-reactive protein inflammatory marker. To utilize this, simply soak 1 tablespoon of whole flax seeds in a glass of water overnight. The following morning, consume both the water and the seeds on an empty stomach. Although the texture is slightly thick, the flavor is quite pleasant, and unlike modern laxatives that merely address symptoms, This elixir actively nourishes beneficial gut bacteria. 16. Moving forward to Dill Seed, the forgotten tithing herb. Transitioning from seeds to herbs, we find dill, a plant mentioned in the Gospel of Matthew as being so precious that it was used to pay religious tithes. For over 4,000 years, dill seed tea has remained the gold standard for treating digestive disorders across the Mediterranean. According to ancient pediatric practices, the essential oils, carvone and limonene found in dill seeds possess powerful antispasmodic properties. Modern science has since confirmed this to be one of the oldest known pediatric medicines, proving exceptionally effective against infant colic. Furthermore, dill offers a mild sedative effect that helps soothe the anxiety often associated with gastrointestinal distress. To prepare it lightly, crush 1 teaspoon of dill seeds and steep them in boiling water for 10 minutes. Drinking this after meals helps expel gas and reduce bloating with a refreshing, anise-like flavor that is easy to enjoy without any added sugar. 17. Finally, myrrh-infused water, the ancient healing elixir. Rounding out these ancient remedies is myrrh water, a healing drink that appears throughout historical texts with a value once equal to gold. Famous as one of the gifts presented by the Magi to the Christ child and a key ingredient in sacred anointing oils, myrrh was considered the ultimate restorative beverage in ancient Egypt and Persia when dissolved in water, while often used topically when consumed correctly as an infusion. Myrrh becomes a potent tonic against infection and a healer of internal injuries. Modern research highlights its genuine antibacterial activity against Staphylococcus and E. coli, as well as its analgesic effects in wound care. Its unique compounds modulate inflammatory pathways without the gastric side effects common in modern painkillers. Traditionally, a small amount of food-grade myrrh resin is dissolved in warm water until it turns a deep amber color, then sipped in small doses to treat infection or inflammation. It remains one of the most sophisticated antibacterial preparations of the ancient world, a true gift, fit for a king that has never been successfully mass-produced. Continuing the narrative of survival and therapeutic beverages in a biblical context, Carob decoction emerges as an optimal nutritional solution from the desert, deeply intertwined with the figure of Saint John the Baptist. Many scholars of the Judean wilderness suggest that the locusts in his diet were actually the pods of the carob tree, also known as Saint John's bread. With a natural fiber content (50% soluble fiber), carob provides not only immediate energy but also acts as a powerful intestinal regulator. Furthermore, the condensed tannins in the fruit possess antimicrobial properties against gastrointestinal pathogens and have been clinically proven effective against rotavirus in children. When simmered in water or soaked overnight, carob produces a mineral-rich beverage that supports endurance and protects the microbiome. A perfect survival superfood that has been overshadowed as modern markets became dominated by chocolate and coffee. Parallel to the enduring vitality of carob is Posca vinegar diluted water, the standard drink of Roman legionnaires. Once dismissed as a beverage for the poor, modern biomedicine reveals Posca to be a sophisticated imperial pharmacological formula thanks to its high content of acetic acid and polyphenol compounds. Clinical trials have confirmed that consuming diluted vinegar before meals can reduce postprandial blood glucose by up to 30% by enhancing insulin sensitivity and promoting fat metabolism. Moreover, maintaining a low pH in soldiers' flasks not only inhibited the growth of harmful bacteria, ensuring hygiene during long marches, but also supported the sustainable reduction of triglycerides and visceral fat. Thus, the tradition of mixing 1 part wine vinegar with 4 parts water was not just a secret for rehydration and blood sugar stabilization, but vivid evidence of the application of biochemistry in preventive medicine that has existed silently for 2 millennia. Finally, closing the catalogue of ancient drinks is cedar berry tea, a respiratory therapy symbolic of the strength and resilience of Lebanon. Mencionado por times, in the Old Testament, the cedar tree provided not only the sacred timber for Solomon's temple but also its berries and young shoots for Near Eastern traditional medicine to treat pulmonary congestion, coughs, and urinary tract conditions. Modern science has identified volatile compounds in cedar oils such as alpha-pinene, sesrol expectospectrin, antibacterial and brun properties. An incredible point of anthropological intersection is found in Native American healing traditions, which, despite evolving completely independently, arrived at similar extraction formulas to treat the same respiratory pathologies. Consequently, the process of steeping cedar berries for 20 minutes does more than release warm resins. It condenses the power of the sacred forest into a natural asthma inhaler, maintaining tracheal airflow through the very bioactive agents observed and synthesized by human ancestors over centuries. Reflecting on the journey of these 20 beverages, we perceive an invisible, yet resilient thread of healing wisdom stretching from the Judean desert to the Temple of Jerusalem, a legacy that modern clinical medicine is gradually rediscovering through the lens of specific biochemical compounds. The scribes of ancient texts did not lack knowledge. In reality, they were master observers who knew how to construct rituals and lifestyle habits around the very entities that ensured their survival and recovery. Today, biochemical research and analysis are simply reconfirming what the ancients practiced: honey water for healing the gut, pomegranate juice for cardiovascular protection, or frankincense water for inhibiting inflammation. The Bible may not explain molecular mechanisms, because the ultimate purpose of these texts was always practical therapeutic results rather than pure physical-chemical theory. Ultimately, it is evident that these ancient drinks require no loud recognition to assert their status. Across thousands of years, they have silently proven their efficacy through their very endurance in human history. Ancient cup partially buried in sand, still intact and glowing faintly, representing knowledge that survives without recognition, dramatic shadows, cinematic depth, high detail. If you want to rediscover the ancient wisdom of healing and survival, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Join us on this journey to reconnect with the primordial sources of health. See you in the next video.